I know we're not Kirk County. I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Help us. Give us what we need.
No tax on overtime. Promises made and promises not kept. I work in the oil field and I pay $40,000 a year in overtime taxes. Most of my income comes from overtime. And whenever I was made the promise that I would not have to pay taxes on overtime anymore, I believed in it. I looked forward to it. I believed in the big, beautiful bill. And then finally, that bill goes through the Senate, goes through the House, and yesterday on 4th of July, that bill is official. It passes. And then I start looking into it, and I come to realize that out of the $40,000 that I'm paying a year, I'm only eligible to get $7,500 back. Not the entire 100% that I paid into. It's like having a pizza. Let's say I made a pizza and it's mine, and the government's telling me, okay, dude, you worked hard, that's your pizza. And then they decide to cut it into 5 equal slices and tell me, actually, you get to keep this one slice and we're gonna take the other 4, even though they promised that I was gonna get the whole thing. I am extremely disappointed, and promises were made, but promises were not kept.
Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw these videos. So a lot of people who voted MAGA are actually on their find out phase, because a lot of them have begun to complain about the whole thing that is currently happening, from the Texas flood to the big beautiful bill. A lot of them are now beginning to find out exactly what people told them about the whole tax cut and how it's going to affect them, then the Medicaid cuts and all that. Well, I'm just going to let some of the videos roll which I've gathered for you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and watch them, then I'll come back with a commentary. But I'd love to hear what you all think about today's video and what everyone is saying on this video. Let me hear what your thoughts are in the comment. Please go ahead and subscribe if you have not already, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go ahead and watch, then I'll come back with the commentary.
People on Medicaid don't look like what you picture in your head. I am on Medicaid. My family is part of the 3.1 million North Carolinians who are on Medicaid, and I will tell you right now, it has been a godsend for my family. I do not know how we would survive financially without it. I lost my job in July of 2024, July 12th. We are almost to the 1 year point of me being unemployed without full-time employment. And Medicaid has helped keep my family afloat, because there are medical issues in my family that needed to be addressed and was not able to continue to pay for COBRA. I had very good insurance at my old job. I had a very good paying job with great insurance. And I was paying $3,000 out of pocket every month for the first 3 months for COBRA to keep that insurance. And that was not sustainable. And I had a lot of issues personally thinking about applying for Medicaid, because how much money I used to make, and thinking, well, Medicaid is for people who don't make much money and who really need help. But the truth is, I needed help and I had to swallow my pride. And my family needed that help, and it has been so helpful. And now I don't know what's going to happen. I've spent the past 12 months applying for jobs nearly every day, networking, interviewing for jobs, being contacted by recruiters who then ghost me and don't even show up for the interview time that they set up. The job market is that bad. Medicaid is not about people who are lazy. It's about people who need help. And right now, my family has needed help. I don't know what North Carolina is going to do about Medicaid. I know the state can afford to fund it at the same way it had been. And hopefully for me and my family, one of these jobs I'm interviewing for lands, and that's our ticket off of Medicaid and to health insurance once again. But I know that that's my case. If I'm that lucky, there's still literally millions of others across the state who won't be so lucky, millions more across the country. And I realize there are parts of this big, beautiful bill that will probably help me once I get a job. Like, that's not lost on me. But please understand that there are millions of people out there who probably look just like you, might be your neighbor, might be one of your best friends who you have no idea is on Medicaid, because they really want to work. They're willing and able to, but they haven't gotten that opportunity. So before you shout from the rooftops that this piece of legislation is passed, just think about those that it is going to affect in a negative way and see what you may be able to do for them.
Just did some monthly budgeting, and it's in my best financial interest if I just died. That's it. Like, based on the numbers, my biggest money saving move would be to stop existing. Rent is disrespectful. Groceries, robbery. Gas, I don't even know where it's going anymore. Do they use fake gasoline? Like, I filled up yesterday and somehow I'm on E already, both emotionally and financially. After all my bills, I had, $37.43 left over, so I treated myself to panic and regret. I looked at my fun money category and it just said, be serious. And when I tried making like a budget pie chart, there ended up being just one big slice labeled, just stop and give up. I tried cutting back on little things too, like coffee, and now I'm just broke and tired and unhappy on top of it. So what's the point? Can I at least just keep spending on the little joys of life? Is it necessary to cut every cost? I try cooking at home more often. I spend $40 making one depressed meal, and now my kitchen looks like a war zone. Does this really make a difference? All right. My bank had the audacity to even email me, let's talk about your financial goals. What goals? My goal is to survive, to somehow make it. That's it. So anyway, I'll be living off prayer and tap water until further notice.
Donald Trump is going to have a bad week, and his supporters are the reason, as they are turning on him. Now, if you missed it, the Department of Justice has announced that there is no Epstein list and there's nothing more to be released. This case is essentially closed. Well, Trump supporters are saying no. You told us you had a list. You told us people would be accountable, and now we want to see it. And they've been talking about this for years. Trump supporters have been saying that once Trump gets back into office, people are going to be held accountable. And he agreed with it. He went along with it, and now they're saying there's nothing to see here. And it's not just anybody. It's people like Laura Loomer. Heck, Michael Flynn has even called out Donald Trump. General Flynn is now calling out Trump. Donald Trump is going to have a very hard time, and it's likely to get past this, he is going to have to replace somebody, whether it's Bondi or whether it's Kash Patel, and put somebody else in and then try to make up evidence or somehow get by this. But Trump is in it.
At this point, I think anybody will turn against anyone, especially when it has to do with their happiness and their health care. Okay, if you're not able to afford health care anymore, then there is a problem, because health care is a major thing that everybody needs. They said health is wealth. So if you don't have a health, you might not be able to make wealth. So how are they expecting people to pay taxes and all that if they cannot even have a good healthcare system? A lot of people have talked about how expensive the healthcare system is in the US. Imagine having an expensive healthcare system, yet you cannot even have a good job to, provide you that healthcare, right, that you need. And on top of that, the government is cutting, the only insurance that is so affordable for every other person to afford. Like that man who is talking about how all his families are on, Medicaid, and now Medicaid is about to be cut. How else are they able to survive in a country that the healthcare is quite expensive, with other insurance company being as high as, whatever? You guys, a lot of people are really crying out because of this whole big beautiful bill. Like, something cannot be beautiful and ugly at the same time. Like, how can you make people, suffer for something they are supposed to enjoy in the first place? People are crying out. Look at that man. He doesn't have a job since last year, right? He was laid off last year, and since then till now, he doesn't have a job. And now his whole family, his entire family, use Medicaid. And now that Medicaid is gone, how are they going to survive? What else are they going to do? How would they manage their life, and every other thing, now that Medicaid is nowhere to be found? If Medicaid is cut off and everything since the bill has been passed, how then are they going to survive with the price of healthcare? That's really outrageous. I wish these people actually come down to, to the grassroots and see how people actually suffer, go through a lot just to make ends meet. I've seen a lot of people make videos and say that people who are on Medicaid are people who actually do not need it, and how those people are lazy, they do not want to work and all that. Just imagine this guy who has worked all his life, and just because he doesn't have a job, he has to be on Medicaid. And he has been looking for another job, right? Looking for another job so that he can be able to move from Medicaid to another, to a better insurance, so that he can leave the Medicaid for the government. But you guys, now he hasn't gotten another job. So look at this other guy who is calculating his wealth. Just imagine, at when a human move from thinking about how to make money and start thinking about his financial status and how he will prefer that over that, then you know that things are really getting worse and people are really getting hurt badly. I think at this point, all those people who really support MAGA so well, forgetting the fact that they are actually going through stuff too, okay, without saying the truth. I think at this point, those people really need to get a check, because you cannot see how much people share their stories and share how deep life is for them right now, how painful it has become, things have become super expensive and all that. People can no longer afford, normal meals. Some people cannot afford to have, good time with their family, go on vacations and all that. Now, aside that, we're also talking about people's health care. People can no longer afford health care. This is something to really cry home about. Like, you actually have right to health, and now that insurance is not there for you, what else can you do? The only healthcare that free healthcare that people were getting, Obamacare at the point, okay, was helping people a lot, and MAGA voted against it, thinking that Obamacare wasn't ACA. Okay, they all wanted ACA, but they do not want Obamacare. And now that Obamacare is gone, the only healthcare platform that offers them almost the same thing as Obamacare, like now Medicaid, they're also about to take it away. And that's how people are really breaking down, because this is becoming too much. This is becoming too much. So when people say, oh, they're turning back on the people they supported, this is one of the reasons why they're turning back. People actually voted for this because they felt the promises that was made to them was going to be fulfilled, right? He made a lot of promises to people. He was going to reduce the price of groceries, make sure that they get cheaper eggs and all of that. And all of a sudden, they're not even getting exactly what they want, because even the farmers are complaining. They're complaining that they cannot get people to come pick up their crops and all that. How can you get people to pick up your crops when you voted against the immigrants that work in your farms? And now that those immigrants are gone, who exactly are you expecting to come pick up those crops? Now, if farmers are not getting people to work on their farms because they are scared of ICE rates, then food will go into waste, right? The farm produce will go into waste. And when farm produce goes into waste, things become very much expensive, right? You can no longer get your cheaper groceries the way you want it. So for some of you who keep crying about how things has become an order, this is one of those reasons. Some of you keep crying about how you are so shocked that MAGAs are leaving MAGA. I guess this is one of those reasons as well, because they voted for cheaper groceries, but they're not even getting it at the end of the day. It's quite unfortunate that they actually believed that that was going to happen, but all of a sudden they're not getting exactly what they wanted, right? It's really painful, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. People voted for this, and now they're actually in their find out phase. And I feel so sorry for them, but it is what it is. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about today's video. Like, let's just have that conversation about today's video and all of these people who are actually crying on the internet. Let's have that conversation. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing all of my next video. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.